Hello, I'm Sydney Metrick. I'm an expressive arts therapist, and my business is Chicken Soup Counseling. And today I'm going to talk to you about loss, grief, and healing. Loss is an integral part of life. All of us experience losses, from simple to profound, all throughout our lives. And when we do, it can shake us up, sometimes throw us into a process known as the process of grief, which has a number of different stages, the most familiar of which are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And the stages are not linear, but rather they go back and forth depending on other factors that may be occurring. So when you're in the state of depression, because you've kind of come to realize that in fact whatever the person, place, thing, idea, or dream that you were attached to is gone, there could be an anniversary of that loss. And at that point, anger may come up. And so, especially in the first year, it can be very difficult to know how you're going to feel at any particular point in time, because outside factors can just serve as catalysts that bring up emotions that were unexpected and unwanted. At the same time, it's important to allow yourself to grieve, because that's the way that you go through the passage from letting go towards getting a sense of who you are without whatever it was that was important to you that's no longer there, and deciding what your life is going to look like without that person, place, or thing. So in order to find healing, the first step is to acknowledge that you're in a process, an emotional process, that may also have physical, mental, and spiritual repercussions, but a process that you have to allow yourself to experience, and that your grief process may be unlike what anybody else experiences. So even though it may be important to speak with other people, it's not always valuable to try to feel like what other people tell you that you should feel like. As an expressive arts therapist, there are a lot of things that I do with people to help them in the healing process. Part of what therapists in general do is talk and listen, more importantly. So having someone to really listen to you without judging you, and just be there to kind of hold your feelings with you as you experience them, can be very important. If you don't have that, having a journal where you write your feelings can be really valuable. Or making a collage with writing, photos, drawing, things that help you remember, that could be important too. When my father died, people sent me cards, condolences, sympathy cards. And at first, I lined up all the cards on a shelf in my living room. And I had some photographs of my father that I placed on the shelf along with the cards. And I lit a candle there every day, and I'd kind of sit there and be with that experience, feel like I could kind of still connect with my father and talk to him mentally through the images. Then one day, I went out in the garage and I found a small cabinet there, about half the size maybe of a medicine cabinet that you'd see in a bathroom, and it had double doors, and I decided to make a permanent altar for my father. And I put some of the phrases that I'd cut out from the cards, I cut those out and glued them on there, and I put photographs in there. My mom had given me some things that were remembrances, a shaving brush that he used to use to shave, that I'd watch him shave when I was a little girl and was always intrigued by the process, became part of this altar. Photographs of me as a child that he'd had in his wallet also went into the altar. And then I got a large picture of him and his family from when he was a little boy that I hung on the wall behind the altar. And that altar still is in my home now. It's in my office. And every once in a while I can pause and kind of reconnect with my father through that altar. And even when I'm sitting at my desk in my office, I can look up, and over in the corner of the room there's the altar with the pictures of my father there. And it makes me feel like, even though I can't really speak with him anymore, I still have that connection and those memories. and those memories are mine forever. So using photographs, especially writing the stories underneath the photographs, is a really great way to experience healing. Art and ritual are really important tools in the process of healing. So lighting a candle, taking a moment to be with a memory, writing a song or a poem, or whatever it is that feels important to you. For some people, it's making the person's favorite meal on their birthday, or actually having a party as if the person were there, and just talking about them the same as you do on a memorial service is a really important way to feel reconnected with someone who's no longer in your life. And you can do the same thing for an animal that you lost, or a place that you lost. It's just important to notice what it is that you're feeling, and what, if you were to really be creative about how to allow that thing, if you don't want to lose it, to still be in your life some way. And then just let yourself play with crayons or paints or writing. It doesn't have to be perfect, because it's only for you. If you'd like to find out more, there's a book that I've written called Crossing the Bridge, and it's published by Apocryphile Press. My website is www.chickensoupcounseling.com. I'm Sydney Metrick. Thank you for listening.